Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the best smartphones that I like under rupees 35,000 up to rupees 10,000. And these are the smartphones that I recommend to my friends and family. And quite a few of you guys actually keep requesting about smartphones in this price band. So I decided to post a video. And guys, do understand that the smartphones that are only officially available in India, I'm going to list that. And I'm going to not going to mention some smartphone models from some brands who are sort of winding out of the Indian market. For example, Lico, their future is not very clear in the Indian market, and even the Lenovo ZUK lineup. So I'm not going to mention about those devices. And also, if a smartphone, for example, has one let's say MediaTek chipset, I fairly feel that the price of that device should be about 10 or 11,000. But if the price is about 18 or 19,000, I will not mention about those brands also. This is price to performance is a high criteria, and every smartphone has some flaws. So there is nothing like a perfect smartphone for a given price point. So I'll also be mentioning what is the biggest con about that device so that you can make informed decisions. And again, I have already produced reviews for most of the smartphones that I'm mentioning. So links for the detailed reviews will be there in the YouTube show notes. So let's get on with this. And the first smartphone that I have, and this is the OnePlus 5, priced at rupees 33,000. And I feel for the price of about 33,000, yes, it's not perfect as I've mentioned. But for the price of about 33,000, you're getting one of the best smartphones that is available for Android at this price point. It has the Snapdragon 835 chipset, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 64 GB of internal storage. Hence, the performance of the phone is actually very fast. It runs on Oxygen OS, which is again very fast and fluent. And again, regarding updates also, OnePlus has been very aggressive and pushing out updates. So overall, a very good smartphone. And in terms of camera also, OnePlus has improved a lot if you compare it with the OnePlus 3T, and now it has the telephoto lens, and the camera performances are also actually very good considering the price point. The only con that I would have noticed with that smartphone in practical usage is that as it does not have any optical image stabilization. If you shoot a lot of video up to 1080p, it's fine, but if you shoot 4K videos, then the footage will not be that good if you move. So that is the biggest con. But for rupees 33,000, my first pick would be the OnePlus 5. Now let's move to another smartphone, and I haven't actually done an in-depth review for this one, but I've used it a little bit because one of my friend had it, and this is the LG V20. Originally, when it was launched for 54,000 in India, but these days sometimes if you keep looking for deals, it comes down to almost around 32 to 33,000. So around this price point, if you are a little bit more brand conscious, you can also have a look at the LG V20. The build quality is good. It's slightly on the largest side. The sound output is actually very good, and also in terms of camera, the camera performance is actually very good. If you are mostly into video, if you take a lot of video with your smartphone, then you love the manual controls that are offered on the LG V20. But again, with LG smartphones, again, updates are a bit slow, and you have that cartoonish UI. But again, overall, if you can look beyond that, then the LG V20 at around 32 to 33,000 is also a very good smartphone. Yes, I know the LG V30 is going to launch very soon, but again, you know, LG, the price of the LG V30 might be at around 50,000 when it launches. So that's my second pick. And now if your budget is around rupees 30,000, then I have this Honor 8 Pro. I'm currently actually using this device. I've almost finished my testing with this device. Now I've used it for over 10 days. Soon I'll be posting my full in-depth review with its pros and cons. But I like the fact that for the price of about 30,000 as of now in India, you are getting the most hardware for the price. For example, it has that speedy Kirin 960 processor, which is an octa-core processor. And in terms of RAM, you're getting 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. And apart from that, we also have a micro SD card slot. The second SIM slot can be used as a SD card. So in terms of storage, you shouldn't have a problem. Also in terms of day-to-day performance, the performance of the phone is very good. Moving to the screen, it has a 5.7-inch screen, and it's a quad HD display. And overall, the performance of this phone is very good. Now moving to camera also, again, this has become important these days. Moving to camera, it has this dual camera setup, and I have to say the camera performance of this device is also actually very good considering the price point. So overall, a very good smartphone. But again, I feel the con with these Honor phones is that again, in software updates, they are not the fastest. So regarding updates, it can be slow. But overall, I would say for the price of about 30,000 as of now, this one would be my pick. If if you don't like Honor phones, then the second runner-up pick would be the OnePlus 3T. That is also selling for about 30,000. But overall, if I have to compare, if you tell me to pick one between the OnePlus 3T and the Honor 8, I would go with the Honor 8. So let's move to the next one. And this is priced around 27,000, and this is the Moto Z2 Play, which is the successor to the Moto Z Play that was launched last year. I would say this is sort of a refined product. It feels a lot slimmer in hand, and the build quality is still actually good. One thing what Motorola has improved compared to the original Moto Z Play is that the rear facing camera has now been hugely improved. So if you're looking for a very slim smartphone and you want to add some mods on a later stage, you can definitely have a look at the Moto Z2 Play. It's priced at around 27,000. Again, check out my full in-depth review for the detailed pros and cons. Now, moving to about 26,000. This is if you are a Samsung fan. You have the Samsung Galaxy C7 Pro. Now the price has fallen to about 26,000 in India. And overall, this smartphone, overall performance of the smartphone is actually pretty good, considering that it runs on Snapdragon 626 chipset, which is similar to the Moto Z2 Play. And overall, in terms of UI and general stuff, it runs well. Has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 GB of internal storage, and really this is one of those Samsung smartphones that does not skimp on a lot of sensors. So in that department also, it's actually pretty good. But the only con that I have with this Samsung Galaxy C7 Pro is that if camera is your highest priority, the camera is sort of pretty average considering the price point of this device. That is the biggest con that I have with the Samsung Galaxy C7 Pro. But if camera is not your highest priority and you prefer Samsung brand, then certainly you can have a look at the Samsung C7 Pro. Now moving to slightly lower budget, and this is for iPhone fans. I have the iPhone SE, 32 GB variant of the iPhone SE. Now it is selling in the offline market for around 24,000. When it was launched, it was around 39,000. So the price has fallen. And yes, I know it's a weird choice, but again, there are people who want a compact size smartphone. If you are into that and you love iOS, then you can certainly have a look at the iPhone SE. This is not the iPhone SE. This is the iPhone 5S. Don't buy the iPhone 5S now. I have this iPhone 5S. I tested it with the latest iOS, and trust me, it's not a great experience. I noticed quite a bit of lag and touch latency on the iPhone 5S. So if you really want a compact size iPhone, then go with the iPhone SE. And the iPhone SE is available in actually 3 variants: 16 GB, 32 GB and 64. Don't go for the 16 GB storage. I know that is priced around 22,000, but with iPhones you can't add storage. So I feel the minimum storage that you need to go if you're going for the iPhone SE is the 32 GB variant. Now again, regarding this was at 24,000. You'll be surprised that I don't have any good suggestions as of now from that 24,000 to around 18,000. Yes, we had the Xiaomi Mi 5, but it is sort of pretty old as of now, so I won't recommend it. And the battery life was also not that great. And we had some Leco phones, but again, as I've told you, Leco is sort of exiting out of the market, so I don't want to recommend that. So now moving down to the budget of around, so I don't have any great choices I would say I can recommend as of now for the 20,000 price point. But if we go down a little bit, I have the strange option that is for rupees 18,000 rupees, and this is the Honor 8. When it was launched for about 29,000 if I recall last year, but now it is selling for about 18,000. And I would say this is not a perfect smartphone for everyone. Again, check out my pros and cons review for the Honor 8 before you go and buy it. But again, there are some people for whom the styling is the highest concern. So if you're like that, and rear facing camera performance is also very important to you, then you can have a look at it. But again, in terms of video, the Honor 8 I wouldn't recommend if you shoot a lot of videos, because it does not have any stabilization. So if you shoot the video, then it does not come out good. But again, if you just shoot static snaps, then the Honor 8, because of its dual camera setup, has one of the best camera performance in this price range of around 18,000. So again, check out my pros and cons review before you jump with this Honor 8, because the version that is sold in India also does not support dual SIM. That's another big con in my opinion. Now moving slightly even lower to around 17,000 rupees, we have the Moto G5 Plus. There is also one more version of the Moto G5 Plus that is selling for 15,000, but that has only 16 GB of internal storage. Don't go for that. Go with the one that has 32 GB of internal storage. And this one, I would say the rear facing camera has been improved quite a bit. So again, if you take a lot of photographs from the rear facing camera, then you can have a look at the Moto G5 Plus. The front facing camera also has improved, but again, I would say it compared to the prior generation, it's not a huge leap. Also, this one, the Moto G5 Plus, does not have heating issues like the Moto G4 Plus last year had. So at 17,000 rupees, if camera is your, again, rear facing camera, I would say is your very high priority, then you can have a look at the Moto G5 Plus. And if you shoot videos up to 1080p with the Moto G5 Plus, then also they come out good because it employs electronic image stabilization. Again, I've already posted my in-depth review for the Moto G5 Plus. Check that for more info. Now moving to some other handsets. And this is a strange choice. This is at rupees 16,000. This is the Asus Zenfone 3. When it was launched last year, it was launched for 27,000. But now I was just checking and the price has fallen down to 16,000 rupees. And overall, I would say, again, this is also running on the Snapdragon 625 chipset. So overall performance is actually very good. And in terms of build quality, I would say the build quality is actually very good on the Asus Zenfone 3. In fact, much better build quality compared to even the Moto G5 Plus. And the camera is good enough. I would say if I have to compare the Moto G5 Plus camera and the Asus Zenfone 3, I would say the Moto G5 Plus rear facing camera is better. But overall, in terms of build quality, and if you like that glass back styling, then you can have a look at the Asus Zenfone 3. But again, it's a Asus Zenfone, so the UI is actually pretty cartoony, so you might not like that. So check out my videos and see if you like that UI. And also in terms of software updates, yes, they are updating, but they are not as fast as other vendors. So again, the Asus Zenfone 3 is also now a good choice at around 16,000 if you are more into you want that better build quality and you are sort of that style conscious. Now moving to another phone, again, this is the Xiaomi Me Max. If you are into very big phablet size phones, you can have a look at this. This was hovering between 14,000 to 15,000 at the time of shooting this video. But I would say just hold on, because there is an event by Xiaomi in India. I recall it's on 17th June or something. And rumors are that the Xiaomi Me Max version 2 would be launched there. So if you are into that big size phone, just hold on. The Mi Max 2 would be launching very soon in India. And I don't think so. Xiaomi is actually pretty aggressive in the pricing of phones in India. So I think so it should be around the 15 to 17,000 price point. Again, wait if you really want a phablet size, what do you say, that huge 6.2, 6.3 inch device. Now, if your budget is around the 14,000 price point and your highest priority is battery life, then I would easily suggest you the Lenovo P2. When it was launched, I think so the price of the Lenovo P2 was around 17,000, but now the price has fallen to about 14,000. And at this price point, I would say it's a very good smartphone. Yes, in terms of looks, the looks are very ordinary, but in terms of performance, the performance of this phone was actually very good because of the Snapdragon 625 chipset. And in fact, it has an AMOLED screen. So in terms of screen quality, it is much better than the Redmi Note 4 or even the Moto G5 Plus. And in terms of battery life, the battery life is spectacular because it has that huge 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And in my testing, I used that device quite a bit. It was lasting easily for 2.5 to almost 3 days. So if battery life is your highest concern, you are a person who always complains about the battery life, you can have a look at the Lenovo P2. And also in terms of build quality, the build quality of the Lenovo P2 was actually pretty good. But the biggest con that I have with the Lenovo P2 was that the camera is actually pretty average. So if you are very, very picky about the camera, then you might not like it. But apart from that, I would say it's a very good smartphone. Again, check out my full in-depth review for the Lenovo P2 for more info. And now again, if we move down to around the 13,000 rupees bracket, we have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4. Again, it's been a very popular smartphone by Xiaomi, and at the 13,000 rupees price point, you get the higher end variant that comes with 64 GB of storage and 4 gigabytes of RAM. And overall, this is one of my favorite smartphones for the price to performance ratio. It has the Snapdragon 625 chipset, and it runs actually very well. The in-hand feel of that device is also very good, and as it's a Xiaomi phone, it does not skimp on sensors. You get all the sensors that you can expect, and it even has the IR blaster. So, and the battery life was actually very good. It was easily able to last me for about 1.5 days to almost 2 days with my typical usage. So in terms of battery life also, it was very good. So I would say this is true value for money, the Redmi Note 4. Still, it's a great smartphone. It was launched a couple of months ago. Still, I feel it's a great smartphone. But the only biggest con I have with the Redmi Note 4 is again the camera. The camera again is pretty average. Yes, if you're not very picky, it will be okay. But if you are expecting the highest camera performance in this price point, then the Redmi Note 4 will disappoint you. But apart from that, it's a spectacular smartphone. Again, check out my full in-depth review for the Redmi Note 4. Again, I have already recommended this Redmi Note 4 to quite a few of my friends and relatives, and most of them are actually pretty happy with the performance of the Redmi Note 4. But again, with all Redmi phones, I would suggest get a case, because with these Redmi phones, if it falls and your screen cracks, the replacement cost for the screens are pretty expensive. So if you're going with any of these Redmi phones, just get a case. Now, if at around, this is around the price point of about 12 to 13,000, and if camera performance is your highest criteria, then I can recommend you the Honor 6X. I think so now the lower variant is available for 12,000 rupees. So it's a great smartphone if camera performance is your highest priority. You get the dual camera setup, and the rear facing camera performance for static pics is the best in the class in this price point. Nothing can touch it. But again, in video, I don't know why Honor does this. It does not have any stabilization. So if you shoot a lot of video, then the video will be shaky. But again, if you just shoot a lot of static pictures, then the camera quality is one of the best on the Honor 6X. And overall performance of this phone was also actually pretty good. One of my very close relatives, my brother-in-law, actually he lost his expensive phone, and I suggested the Honor 6X to him, and he's still using, and he's actually pretty happy with the Honor 6X. So at the price of about 12,000 rupees, I would recommend the Honor 6X. Again, check out my full in-depth review for the pros and cons. And now moving down to the price point of about 11,000 rupees. Again, at this price point, I would first recommend you the Redmi Note 4. You get the 3 gigabyte RAM variant that comes with 32 GB of storage for 11,000 rupees. And at that price point, the amount of hardware that you are getting for that price is sort of amazing. So you get a good 5.5-inch screen. The Redmi Note 4 has the Snapdragon 625 chipset. So at 11,000, this is a no-brainer. But again, if camera is your highest priority, then it does not have the best rear-facing camera. And lastly, now this is the last choice that I have at about 11,000. We also have this. I know many people don't like big size phones. The Redmi Note 4 has a 5.5-inch screen, but let's say if you like slightly smaller size phones, then you can have a look at the Redmi 4. Just remember, it's not the 4 Redmi 4. This one is having a 5-inch screen, runs on the Snapdragon 435 chipset. At 11,000 rupees, you have the 4 gigabyte RAM variant that comes with 64 GB of internal storage. But I would say don't go for that because at rupees 9,000, we have the same Redmi 4 that comes with 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. And I feel that should be more than enough for most of the users. And it is an excellent smartphone. I've already tested it. I used it as my primary for over 10 days and I was satisfied with its performance. Again, it's a Xiaomi phone, so it does not skimp on any sensors. You even get IR blaster, a blazingly fast fingerprint scanner. But one thing that was surprising is that Xiaomi has improved the rear facing camera on the Redmi 4. So in terms of camera performance also, I was sort of happy with the Redmi 4. So at rupees 9,000, I would recommend the Redmi 4. So these were some of the smartphone choices, and these are the smartphones that I like and I can recommend to my friends and relatives. So again, do let me know what do you think about the same, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you can click the like button, and also share this video with your friends and relatives. They might find it helpful. And if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.